Welcome back to my channel. My name is Warren Barnes, and here we learn to unlock our potential. And in today's video, I want to talk about how to raise your vibrational frequency. In the last video, I talked about the law of vibration and just how powerful that law is and how you can bring it into your life. Well, today I want to talk about raising your vibrational frequency in 4 easy steps. Steps that any one of us can do to help you grow to be the best version of yourself. So let's get into it. Step number 1. Step number 1 is vibrational awareness. Now, awareness is such a powerful topic in the spiritual community because awareness is actually one of the first things you start to develop when it comes to spiritual practices. Because essentially what it does is help bring in more information into the present moment. And take vibrations, for example. We're trying to raise our vibrational frequency. Bringing awareness to all of the frequencies that are around you and that you are being subjected to helps you to understand more information in that time. Meaning you start to realize what vibrations are what are higher and what are lower vibrations. And it's not to say that they weren't there before, it just means that you are now becoming more aware of those frequencies. Now we want to know what is a higher and what is a lower frequency, because here all we are doing is raising our vibrational frequency. All we're trying to do is become the best version of ourselves. So we want to know what is a high frequency and what is a low frequency so we can bring in those higher frequencies into our life. Now, a very easy way that everybody does and can do to raise or bring awareness to raising your vibrational frequency is how you feel. It sounds so simple, and it is very simple, but it's about bringing awareness to it all the time in every situation. Now, take, for example, somebody walking into a room. You know those individuals that carry that vibe with them, which is a very positive or a negative. But let's take the one that walks into the room and lights up the whole room full of all of these different people. They are a person that is just emitting a higher frequency. And before you've even introduced yourself, before you've even spoken to the individual, you already feel like that is an amazing person to be around. And all that is you are now feeling the vibrations that they are emitting. And it is that feeling where you start to build the awareness around those feelings. Is this the type of person I want to spend more time around? Are those specific, maybe the music, maybe it is different types of activities. Are these things I want to spend more time with or bringing into my life more? Those are the feelings that help you to raise your awareness around what is a higher and what is a lower frequency. And it is such an important first step. And that is why it's number 1. Moving on to step number 2. And step number 2 is vibrational stability. Now, vibrational stability is all about how to keep your current vibration. Now, first, I have to point out that your vibration is not a constant. Once you raise your vibrational frequency and you've got a nice high vibration, you're not just staying there. Because everything in your life is you are being subjected to all of those vibrations, positive and negative. And so just as easy as you've raised your vibration, you can easily lower it depending on your actions. And so we want to know how we can maintain that higher frequency. And the awesome just the easiest way to do that is tuning into your emotions. Now, emotions is a huge topic that I love to talk about. And it is so powerful. And the way that I like to categorize the human condition is in 4 different categories: your physical and your spiritual, and your mental and your emotional. Your physical and your mental are directly connected to one another. If you are a type of person that has done moderate to high level exercise, for example, you will actually know that the way to push the boundaries of your physical body is to push through the limitations of your mind, because your mind becomes a safety mechanism so you don't hurt or injure yourself. But your mind always goes up before your body. And that limitations is different for everybody. So for us to evolve, you need to push through those boundaries. And it's very similar between your spiritual and your emotional. Those two are directly connected. The majority of spiritual practices is about emotional stability. It's about becoming an immovable object to all of the things around you in your life. So take, for example, the person walking into the room, the one that we talked about just before. So if that person was a lower vibration and you were easily triggered by the things that he was saying or he or she was saying or doing, you are essentially giving in to those lower vibrations. They call it, he or she is now your master, because they have easily swayed your current state of being. You need to realize that your emotions are 100% your choice. Your emotions are when you choose to react to your mental state, let's say your thoughts, or your physical state, your day-to-day actions and experiences. Your emotions are how you choose to react to those situations. And that is why it's so, so important. And to keep and maintain that higher vibrational frequency, it is about not letting those lower vibrations in. Using your emotions, not being triggered by those lower frequencies. Now, on to step number 3. Step number 3 is clearing those lower vibrations. As we said here, all we're trying to do is raise our vibration. So we need to know how to clear out any lower vibrations. Like I said before, we are not at a constant frequency. And there are going to be times where we're down in the dumps and not feeling too good. Maybe you're sick. Maybe you're just having a bad day. Maybe someone did trigger you and you're just, all of a sudden, you're just in a bad headspace and you've just lowered your frequency. Now we need to know how to clear out all of that stuck energy. And there's 2 simple ways that I like to do this that anybody can do. One is more of a niche market, but the second one that any single person can do, and I would encourage everybody to do. But the first one is energy healing. Energy healing is such a powerful tool to use. Either learning how to do it yourself or going to a professional. I would highly recommend going to a professional first if you are wanting to get into it and you haven't done it before. Go and do a couple of sessions. And it's a very simple thing to actually bring in and do it yourself. Energy healing on yourself is such a simple thing to do, and even in a week you can learn how to do some very powerful and some very effective techniques. Now, linking up to the second one. So I follow a guy called Master Stephen Coe. He is a pranic healer. I personally have got a bit of a love for pranic healing. It was the first thing that I really started to dive into, mainly because there's an amazing physical and spiritual balance between the two, which is very close to my heart. And what Master Stephen Coe does is that he does a lot of exercise. And that is the second one. Exercise in all different forms, depending on what you like, but just exercise in itself. He does a lot of heavy lifting, squatting, deadlifts, bench press, all those sorts of things. And he is a world-renowned energy healer. He actually has his own YouTube channel, and I'll link it down the bottom if you are interested. But I highly recommend go and check him out. But he does a lot of physical exercise, a lot of kind of gymming. Because what it actually does is it starts to clear out all of that energy. As probably a lot of us know, once you do exercise, you're absolutely exhausted. It's extremely difficult initially, but afterwards you feel absolutely amazing. It is because that you are starting to clear out all of that stuck and stale energy or vibrations. And that is when your body starts to naturally reset itself, naturally start to bring in those vibrations. And so I highly recommend any type of exercise, whether it's running, whether it's gym, whether it's sport, whatever it is that you love to do, just do more of it. And bring it into your life because it is so important. All right, moving on to the fourth and final step. And I want to connect this back to the first step. And that is bringing awareness not to the vibrations that are coming into your life this time, but the vibrations that you are emitting to the world. And that step is vibrational projection. What are you personally projecting out to everyone and everything in your environment? Now, I don't want to repeat myself from what we were doing in step one, because we know the vibrations that we are now bringing in, whether they're higher or lower. We know how to stabilize our vibrational frequency to keep us at a nice high vibration. We know how to clear out any lower vibrations, and now we need to know what we are projecting out to the world. And there's one very simple thing to do with this. And all we are trying to do, as I keep saying here, we are just trying to become the best version of ourselves. And to do that is to project higher vibrations. And there's only one vibration that we should be projecting, and that is love. Now, to build onto that a little bit, not just every kind of day-to-day joy and love, but self-love. The first thing we should be looking at is self-love. How to treat yourself better. How to care for yourself and bring more joy into your life. And it is different for everybody, but whatever that love feels like for you, bring that into your life. Whether it is mantras, standing in front of a mirror, saying all of these positive affirmations. Whether it's just bringing nutrition and exercise care to yourself and to your life. Recognizing just how incredible and amazing you are. Because self-love is so important, because when you start to bring love into your life, you then raise your vibrational frequency, and every single one in your surrounding environment gets affected. You start to become the individual that walks into the room that starts to change the atmosphere immediately in a positive way. And everyone benefits from your high frequency. And you can also just do normal, joyful actions of spreading love. Something as simple as just staying more positive. Your thoughts. Maybe you want to bring in more positive thoughts into your life. Maybe you just want to smile more or laugh more. There's nothing more just addictive than seeing someone laugh. It just helps everyone else be in such a more positive mood. Or it can be a simple action, maybe the classic case of helping the elderly person walk across the street. Maybe you are going onto someone's YouTube channel and pressing the like button and the subscribe button because it really helps them out a hell of a lot. Maybe. But whatever it is, in your own personal way, spread love to everybody else. Because self-love raises your vibration, which impacts everybody. But spreading love to others starts to change the world. And if you have loved this video, please go and hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. I really want to try grow this channel to connect with more people. And I will hope to see you on the next one.